Hi, I'm Emily from Baylily Tents and welcome again to Baylily Meets, and today I'm in the tent with the lovely Jenny Owens, Hampshire wedding photographer. Hi Jenny, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine, thank you very much.
We're here today to talk about wedding photography mainly, of course, especially if you're getting married outside or you're looking for a wedding photographer, things to think about when you are looking for that key person to photograph your day. So Jenny, tell us a bit about yourself. When did you start photographing, and what kind of, do you have specific kind of wet venues or types of weddings you like to focus on?
Right, okay, so actually initially I started off with family photography, so I started my business back in 2010 now, with family photography, and I did a lot of outdoor shoots with families then, so that's kind of very much my love, if you like.
Actually, really Jenny did our family photos when Ben was first born. You did our first family in a nice garden, which was lovely.
Yes, in summer it was really nice, just kind of walking around outdoors, having lovely sort of the flowers in the background, really bright, vibrant colours. So I actually started. I went full time with photography in 2013.
Okay.
And that's when I also started doing weddings. And now I still do family stuff, but probably about 75% sort of weddings now, and then I do the family stuff at Christmas time and spring bluebells, family and bluebell woods, that kind of thing. So,
and you focused in Hampshire, or you were surrounding areas?
So surrounding mostly Hampshire, but I do go over the border to the West Sussex and Wiltshire, Dorset sort of way. Generally, cover probably about an hour and a half sort of round from where I live. I'm based in Winchester.
Nice. So when you have a client book you, what would they get within their pack? Do you have specific packages that people pick, or are you a bit more bespoke than that? Do you offer all day photography, or do you offer half day? What kind of things do you offer?
Okay, so I basically have 3 main packages, and that has all the usual things that people sort of would like in their wedding photography. So the first one, it's just me, photographer for your day, and usually sort of the whole day. I usually start from when I say the whole day, it's usually a couple of hours before the ceremony, to get getting ready stuff, and up to a little bit after the first dance, so I can get some of the dancing as well afterwards. So that's my first package, first tier, and then it kind of goes up if you wanted a second shooter, if you wanted an album, and then my kind of top package is absolutely everything in it that you could possibly want. So I do little slideshow videos as well. That's included in the top package. And second shooter, as I said, kind of a really, really big album and smaller parent albums. What else is included in that? A pre-wedding shoot as well.
Okay, that's important, I think, isn't it?
Sometimes people, especially when a couple's a little bit anxious, maybe about having their photographs taken. Sometimes having a pre-wedding shoot or an engagement shoot sometimes helps with that, because then you can get to know.
I always think of that episode of Friends, with Chandler Bing, who can't smile for a photo, and he's like, every time the camera goes, he's like, or does a really funny face. And I think if you can get that familiarity with the photographer beforehand, and you understand that it's not going to be as big and scary, and you're very not in your face with your camera, you're very sort of off key, you're very sort of low key with it all, and very relaxed about it, which is what I like when we had our family photos done. So it's just getting that pre-shoot, I think sometimes really can help you build that confidence and know that it's just you relaxing with your other half, and it's nothing to be scary about, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think that is actually key. If you are anxious about that, then having a conversation, at least a conversation with your photographer about your anxieties, can really help. And so just some people don't like being photographed because they don't know what to do. How to hold their hands, how to hold the bouquet, or where to kind of look. And so if that's why they're anxious, then it's good to have a kind of test sheet, if you like, because then I can reassure them, give sort of gentle prompts and that kind of thing. So
I think it's also that you can get a balance as well, because there are different types of photographers. You can have reportage kind of style, can't you? And then you have your post shots. Do you recommend as a photographer that you do lots of post shots in it, or would you say it's very much up to the bride and groom, or do you prefer to do more of the relaxed kind of point and shoot as things are happening, capturing things?
I always say it very much depends on what the bride and groom wants. So actually, probably going back to the very beginning, I do think that when you're looking for photographers, that you need to look at their style and you need to look at their approach to make sure that it's sort of, it's what you want and it's in line with what you want for the day. So don't go for a photographer who really wants to. Oops. Don't go for a photographer who is likes to direct everything on the day and to have perfectly posed sort of photos. If that's not what you want, if you want more kind of candid photography, reportage, then go for someone who does that kind of thing. But I guess those two things are poles apart, if you like. But then most photographers for wedding photography actually probably fall in between those two. So it's basically making sure that you choose the right photographer for the things, the kind of photos that you want on the day. So I would say that you probably would want some post photos. A lot of even with the couples who maybe don't want to be standing in front of the camera all day long, kind of smiling at the photos. Sometimes it's actually nice to have just a few.
Sometimes it's nice for the other sort of, especially the older members of the family, some of the more traditional, like mums, dads, grandparents, they always like to see at the end just one nice snap of all the family together, isn't it? So it's nice to get those, and I think personally for me as well, having our wedding, we didn't want any of the post shots at all, but actually looking back now, we were encouraged to get a few, and I'm really glad we did, because it is a nice time for all the family to be together, and you don't often get everyone together at the same time, so it's nice to get a few just key ones to look back on later on.
So I usually suggest that just have a few of those kind of key members of the family. If you're really not keen on having that many done, then I usually say get them done as soon as you finish with your ceremony, as soon as you come out, whether that's in the church or somewhere else.
It can take too long otherwise, can't it? Sometimes if you've got a list of like the size of A4 of every single post shot you want, you can take 2-3 hours, and actually you want to be there in your reception, you want to be having your canapes and stuff. You don't want to be spending an hour, 2 hours just posing for a photo, do you sometimes?
And I do think that so be realistic as to what you can fit in the time that you have, and as to how many photos that you actually want as well. But getting those key photos done right at the beginning, then you can go off and you can relax, and you can still get sort of group photos done during your reception as well. They might just be a little bit more candid and relaxed, and just getting the photos where that your sort of groups of friends or groups of family are together naturally, chatting with each other. So you can still get those done. But yes,
so looking as a bride and groom, or bride and groom choosing their wedding photographer, what kind of tips would you say in terms of choosing your photographer? I know it's subjective to the type of style. What would you say is important to look for in a photographer? Things like, for example, insurances and things like that. What things would you say is impossible? I can't even speak now. It's one of those days today. Things to look for. Things to think about when looking for a photographer. What would you say is important?
Right. Okay. So as I said, I think the main thing is the style, and that's what I mean by that is actually the look of the photos themselves, and also the style of photography in terms of how the photographer approaches things. So as I said, you can have somebody who really directs something and everything kind of looks like it's from a magazine, everything's perfect, that kind of thing, or you can have the more candid shots. In terms of the kind of the look of the photos, you can have some really kind of dark and moody, sort of kind of grainy photos, very arty photos, which is if that's the kind of thing that you want, then obviously choose a photographer whose style will reflect that. So because at the end of the day, when you see your wedding photos afterwards, and you know, you want to be realistic about the kind of photos that you expect and the kind of photos that you want to look at afterwards. So you need to choose the right photographer for that.
I think I would say is people get very, quite understandably, hung up on budget and what they've got to spend on a photographer. And I've always said, personally, looking back at our wedding and other weddings we've been to, get your photography right. And if you're going to spend any money, I would spend the money on a photographer, because they're the things you're going to look back on later on in life, aren't you? You're not going to remember who's on your tables, what kind of flowers you had on your top table and that kind of stuff. But a photographer is important, and I think people sometimes get driven by the cost before they see the work of that photographer. And I think look at the style first and see if you like that person, because you've got to get to know that. And the greatest one in the world, a £500 budget compared to a £2,000 or somewhere in between, you're going to get very different types of packages, and some people only give you X amount of images, some might give you all of the images. So really get to know that photographer and what you like first, and then work around the budget a little bit.
Yes, absolutely. So look for the kinds of things photos that you like, and make sure that you're happy with their approach. If you let's say they're going to be with you as well for probably most of the day, and so you know, getting someone who you know you'll need to gel with is a good thing. And then start looking at what they're actually offering in the packages. And so, you know, with the budget, there are, if you have got a very set budget, sometimes you can kind of take things out of packages. It's just really trying to decide on what's the most important to you. So, you know, maybe an album.
It's not just point and shoot, is it? There's a lot of editing that goes on behind the scenes as well, and the creation. If you're having wedding books put together, all of that takes time and energy and
yes, absolutely. So we're probably, as I said, we're with you most of the day, but it doesn't stop there. No. It's all the editing afterwards, and yes. Putting albums together and the slideshows together and that kind of thing. It all does take time, and so I think it is sort of important to look at those things. The other thing, I think you mentioned insurance as well. So insurance and actually experience is another thing that you know to kind of to check. I know that some venues, some kind of country houses, some historical venues will ask for insurance, proof of insurance from your suppliers. So if you are having a wedding in
those kind of venues,
so it's worth checking as well with your
segueing into venues. Well done there. Obviously we like outdoor venues.
Yes.
Do you like outdoor venues?
I think
you do.
Venues.
Do you have any particular ones that have stood out for you that you really enjoy as outdoor venues? Or types of outdoor weddings that you like? Because obviously there are beach, there are woodland. What do you really enjoy doing?
This is really difficult, because I do basically like going outdoors or having some sort of an outdoor element to the day. I know it's again, because we're in Britain, even if you're having a summer wedding, it doesn't necessarily kind of translate to having a lovely summer
that magazine
day.
Kind of glossy what you think you're going to get isn't definitely what you ever get.
So but I do enjoy kind of shooting something you know, outside with an outdoor element. So I mean, you can have historical places or country houses that have sort of an outdoor space especially for ceremonies. Now I'm finding that a lot actually, that a lot of places now in hotels are actually kind of finding some outdoor space and actually converting it to for you to be able to have your ceremony out there, whether it's a registrar kind of legal ceremony or what's the word I'm looking for?
A humanist
that kind of thing. So I think more and more even hotels and that kind of thing are actually incorporating the outdoors into their wedding packages.
Which is nice. I like that a lot. Obviously it's our bread and butter as well. So we think long live the outdoor wedding, really.
So sorry, I'm not giving you a specific answer because I do generally
weird things like, obviously you mentioned good old Blighty's weather. So how do you find that it's difficult to shoot in the rain, or do you like shooting in the rain, or are there ways you can get away with getting, because I've seen some amazing shots of people getting married in the rain. They've wanted the sunny sort of blue skies, but actually have got brilliant wedding shots at the end of it. Like
yes, with your boots. Yes, absolutely. If you're prepared for wet weather, then and you're actually happy to go out. Again, it depends on the couple.
Yeah.
So if the couple are happy to just sort of embrace the weather, whatever it might bring, then it's great. It's great for me because you can get absolutely amazing photos, even with sort of stormy skies.
Yeah, some really dark skies.
Yeah.
Do you remember there was a wedding? It was in the news a couple of years ago, and they had a beautiful. It was in the grounds of an old house, and they had a big teepee wedding, and it was all. And then they had flash floods. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And it literally must have been like ankle deep in water, and everyone had to run into the orangery, and then sort of. But the photos from after that, the bride and groom were amazing. They went back out into the floods, and were just like going, "Oh, look at me!" And they were sensational pictures. I think you just make the best of it, don't you?
So I think if you embrace whatever the weather throws at you, and you're happy to go out and just enjoy yourself, enjoy your day, then they would make for absolutely fantastic photos.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Jenny, thanks so much for joining us in the tent. I hope you enjoyed your tea. You didn't even drink much of it.
You're chatting so much. Yeah, I'm going to drink it.
Thanks so much. Cheers, guys. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, guys. If you liked what you saw in this video and you'd like to see more of our series, then click on the link below. Or if you'd like to subscribe to our channel, please click on what?
Yeah, subscribe
down below.
here.